So the Mavericks. So by the way, Jackson, our producer, doing the research, Big Country Reeves, career high 41 for the Vancouver Grizzlies. Let it be written, let it be said.
I mean, can we at least get a Sharif Abdul-Rahim shout out if we're going to dip back into the Vancouver days? Come on,
how about former Grizzlies great Mike Bibby?
Well, you know who held the franchise
if you
record
get that
before
joke,
Ja broke it?
Go ahead.
It was Mike Miller.
Oh, yeah. Love Mike Miller. Good man. So, MacMahon, on New Year's Eve, God knows what you were doing on New Year's Eve, but on New Year's Eve,
I tested negative for COVID at like 10:45 p.m., but I stayed home responsibly.
All right. And on New Year's Eve, the Dallas Mavericks were 17-18, and I believe ranked 19th in the league in defense. And things weren't looking so great. Luka was, he was
just about to come back from his extended absence, get his ankle right and get the rest of his body right absence of a few weeks.
They played in Sacramento that night or that afternoon, a 6:00 game. Well, I guess night, whatever. And they won. And since that time, that got them to 500. So they hit New Year's at 500. Since that time, they are 20-7 going into tonight's game against the Warriors. They have a homestand here where they've got the Warriors and the Jazz come in later as well. So that should be a good matchup. But they've got a chance to maybe get even some more momentum here at home. Just came off of a road trip where they won in Miami, which Miami, until they got beat a buzzer beater. Well, it wasn't. 2 seconds left. Drew Holiday Wednesday. Yeah, Miami had
close
one
enough.
loss.
Miami had one shot.
Miami had one loss in a month, and it was to the Mavericks in Miami
on a night when Luka was 5 of 19 from the floor.
Yeah. So during that stretch, from New Year's Eve onward, the Mavericks are third in the NBA in defense. Mm-hmm. Actually, their offense.
If you go since January 1st, they're second.
Okay, I started with
105.7.
Yeah, I started with that win. So yeah, so one of the best defensive teams in the league in that stretch, and absolutely just terrific production from Luka in this. Looks spry, making all kinds of plays. The game in LA the other night. I mean, everybody's focusing on the Lakers, and that's natural. But the game in LA the other night, they made 8 consecutive shots in inside 5 minutes to basically put that game away, and like 3 of them were like impossible difficulty that Luka just made. It was just like, what are you gonna do?
But people were talking about a shot that Luka made in the first half in Dallas after that game. They were talking about Luka going up, grabbing a rebound and throwing down a putback dunk on Dwight Howard's head and then scowling into the crowd.
Legitimately didn't think Luka could do that when I saw it. That was a stunner.
He has 5 dunks this year. He had 1 before the last month or so. He's got 4 in the last month. That one, obviously, of spectacular fashion. And so there's a lot of talk about that dunk after the game. And look, Luka wasn't getting up like that early in the season when he's weighing, in the 260s, high 250s. He's in the mid 240s now. It's a different Luka. And you can see, just look at Luka's net rating. He was a -5.5 in the regular season, the 2021 part of the regular season. When he's dealing with the ankle, when they shut him down to get healthy, to get in shape. Since he's come back, I don't have it right in front of me, but he's a plus, it's like a 12. It was like a +12 last I looked recently. So it's right in there, like +12, +13. And so, and Luka, he acknowledges he came in out of shape. It's made a huge difference. And when I asked him, how much bouncier do you feel now than as opposed to early in the season? And he's like, a lot bouncier. But he said the biggest difference that he really feels is that he's able to finish games strong. He's not out there huffing and puffing and tired and fatigued late in games. And suddenly the Mavericks on February 3rd, this is right after they lost an overtime game at home to Oklahoma City, where Luka had a massive, just brain fart defensively to OKC tie it up. at the end of regulation. They, at that time, were dead last in the league in clutch defensive rating, 130.1. Dead last in net rating in the clutch, minus 34.5. Since then, their clutch defensive rating, 77.1.
Sounds
net rating,
like
plus 42. They're 7-2 in those games. Luka, with the exception of when Gobert was able to get a few stops on him, one of which the NBA agreed with Luka the next day. Oh, yeah, Gobert did kind of rake you on that one. But with the exception of that, Luka's been able to really kind of take those games over as a guy who's driving to the basket, sometimes creating for his teammates, a lot of times getting his own stuff. A lot of those, like the fadeaways that he hit over LeBron, that type of thing. But they're just a dominant defensive team down the stretch of games in particular, and that's not happening if their superstar, needs an oxygen mask in the fourth quarter.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.